President Trump's special envoy says we are closer than ever to seeing a hostage deal with Hamas. Adam Boehler says he's confident it will happen, but he warns Hamas's hard-headedness could complicate things. Joining me now is U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee. Mr. Ambassador, are we close? What can you tell us about this?
You know, we all hope we're close to, but the truth is Hamas is the holdup. They've been the impediment since October the 7th. And every time Israel puts something on the table, makes concessions, says, here's what we're willing to do, Hamas says, we'll think about that. Then they come back and say no. It's time for this to end, but it can't end with Hamas winning. And the president has been so clear. He says Hamas can't stay. They can't have a future there. I think they need to listen to the president. Iran should have listened to the president. And Hamas would do well to hear what the president is saying to them, because leaving Hamas in power would be like leaving the Nazis in Nazi Germany after World War II. It's simply not going to happen.
Next one, sir. You just made an unprecedented visit to Prime Minister Netanyahu's corruption trial. Did you go there to show support for the Prime Minister from President Trump? Is that why you attended?
Well, if you've kept up with President Trump's tweets, he's on 2 occasions been very clear that he feels like that what's happening to the Prime Minister mirrors what has happened to him in the United States, where when his political opponents can't defeat him, they try to take him to the courthouse and rough him up and make him spend money and time, which is an incredible distraction. And so he has been very vocal in his support for the Prime Minister. You know, he's not trying to adjudicate the case. He's not trying to intervene or tell him what should happen or when, but just that this is a distraction, and as President Trump calls it, a witch hunt. So I went just to show some support to the Prime Minister on both a personal level, and also to say that at least America's president recognizes what it's like to be put through this kind of ordeal, especially in a time of war and trying to get hostages out.
How did that go down in Israel? Was it a popular move on your part?
You know, I didn't do it to be popular or unpopular. There were some people I'm sure thought it was a wonderful thing. I'm sure there were others who were opponents of the Prime Minister who probably thought it was a horrible thing. But I didn't go and tell the courts of Israel what they should or shouldn't do. It wasn't any of that. I simply went, sat in the courtroom for a while, and then I got up and went away and carried on with other meetings that I had in Tel Aviv that day.
But you showed your support. I got it. Israel's defense minister is meeting with our defense secretary, Pete Hegseth, today. I don't know whether you can tell us much about this meeting, but I would presume they are assessing the aftermath of the Iran bombing and seeing what progress has been made.
Well, I think what they're also doing is celebrating with each other, because both of these military operations from the Israelis and the U.S. were stunning successes. And not only that, but they were carried out with a level of military precision that I think will be studied in war colleges for generations to come. Not a single life lost on either the Israeli or American side in the military. Incredible flights, challenging environments to work in. Not a plane lost, not an airman lost. It was a stellar operation, both for the U.S. B-2s as well as the Israelis in their 12-day war. It's an opportunity to recognize that Israel and the United States have probably never been closer. The bond is strong, not only between our countries, but between the president and prime minister. And that's healthy for the world because it sends the message that needs to be sent. Our allies can trust us, and our foes had better not take us for granted and need to fear us.
Mr. Ambassador, an American man was recently killed in the West Bank. Could you tell us what you know about this and what you are demanding from Israel?
Well, we're asking the Israelis to conduct a full investigation. If they find out who did this, to hold them accountable. We don't know what happened. That's one of the sad things. I've talked to the family. I plan to visit with the family in person. It is of great concern to us that this was an American citizen who was there for a visit for a couple of weeks. But there's a lot of speculation about who did the murder, why they did the murder. And the truth is, Stu, at this point, we don't know. But we want to know, and we want answers for this family. We pray that this doesn't happen to anyone else. And it's a horrible tragedy that we all are genuinely, deeply concerned about, and also want to offer our condolences to this young man's family.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for being on the show today. It's good to have you back on Varney and
Thank
Company.
you, Steve.
Hope to see you again soon. Thank you, Mr.
Good to be
Mason.
back.
Thank you.